Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and boy, what a fun, wild, crazy, psychedelic Jimi Hendrix concert poster from the summer of 1969. Wow. Boston, Massachusetts, and the Summerthing Festival. But, alas, Jimmy did not appear. His show was cancelled. This was supposed to be the first date of his fall tour of 1969. The exact date on here is Thursday, September 18th of 1969, and it was booked, the tour was, with Concerts West, the famous promoter that's based in Seattle, Jimmy's hometown. But Jimmy, went through his lawyers and said he simply was not physically or emotionally capable of performing well, so this fall tour was canceled, as a result, of course, this first show as well. Jimmy was really undergoing some interesting musical transformations at this time. The poster does say the Jimi Hendrix Experience, as you can see, but key player Noel Redding, bass player, had parted ways with Jimmy some time before, and drummer Mitch Mitchell was still partly with Jimmy and had drummed for him at Woodstock just the previous month before this, the Woodstock Festival, but that band was billed as Gypsy Sons and Rainbows. So, and the next month after this scheduled show, Jimmy would go into the studio with Band of Gypsies and start, forming that group and jamming with them. So, but in the meantime, you've got the summer of 1969 here, and Smash Hits by the Jimi Hendrix Experience, that cool album with Jimmy on horseback, was in the national top 10. And so therefore, the Hendrix Experience was being advertised, and as a result, we have this really fun, colorful, great concert poster. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much themed around an upside-down electric guitar there, with wild, colorful, rainbow-like hair coming out of the top. And look at that, on the guitar body itself, 3 sets of eyes. Wow. Red in the middle, droopy yellow on the left, and wide-open green on the right. And then you've got those lips with a mustache, if you look carefully, and we just got to think that was really made to look like Jimmy. And then the guitar neck goes down, and at the bottom there's a, red ribbon or whatnot, scarf at the end of the guitar neck, also a nod, I'm sure, to Jimmy, absolutely. And then if you look carefully, look at that, you've got that finger there. I mean, you don't need me to do that, but see right there. You've got that finger, interestingly enough, with 5 rainbow lines coming out of it and going to various frets. That's really surreal and artistic. Whether it's an actual chord on the guitar deck, I don't know, because I'm not a musician. And then in those light pastel colors over the guitar neck, as you can see in big letters, you have Jimi Hendrix Experience, and then in small words it does say in concert. And then below that, as you can see, it does say for the benefit of Summerthing. Now, Summerthing was really interesting cultural arts festival in Boston at the time, the late 60s and the early 70s, consisted of, mural art all over the city, culture, music, food, and whatnot. And it was created by, Boston's management, the city's fathers and mothers, if you will, to promote peace and harmony throughout the city, to try to avoid the civic unrest that was tearing up cities like Chicago and Detroit in the late 1960s. So, Summerthing had hundreds of exhibitors and lots of free music by name artists, lots of headliners and stuff, the Byrds and Joan Baez and stuff, giving free concerts. But this was charged for because it was going to be a benefit for a fundraiser, if you will, for Summerthing. And that's why on the poster it does say donation, instead of ticket prices, $3 in advance and $4 at the gate. And as a matter of fact, as a really fun add-on to this video, look what I have. I just happen to have an unused concert ticket. That's right, from Summerthing. I will come in close on it and really hope for good focus. That's what you always hope for. Look at that, though. Yep, the rain check stub is still on there and so forth. And, almost everybody who bought tickets probably sent them in for a refund. But this particular person decided to just hang on to it. And so there you have an unused ticket from Summerthing. So this poster also has, scattered throughout, as you can see, it does have some horizontal creases in it, but those will be flattened out when it gets framed. But it does have a couple of dozen colorful floating clouds, which is really a nice part of the artwork. I really like that. And just looks really pretty throughout. And it measures 14 by 21 inches, just a little bit taller than a standard Fillmore at the time, which of course was 14 by 20 inches. As for the rest of the wording on here, as you can see, you know, the wording is scattered throughout the poster, but most unusually is the top line of this concert poster. You probably haven't read it yet, and I would dare to go out on a limb and say maybe it's the most unusual top line of any concert poster I've ever seen in my life. How's that for a statement? Well, you know, the poster artist on this piece was Kim Whitesides, a gentleman who worked out of New York, originally from Utah. And usually poster artists would get, you know, either a little tiny mention or none at all, right? That was the standard of the day. But in this case, check it out in the upper left-hand corner. Boy, the poster artist got Kim Whitesides' top billing and his agent's contact information right there on the poster, I think. Certainly the name, as you can see, it does say Rabin and Newborn represent Kim Whitesides. And then, is that a phone number? It says HA1-0050. Well, the only problem with it being a phone number is that the artist was based in New York and the concert and this poster was posted around Boston, so there's no area code on there to distinguish. And it does start with HA. Could that have meant Hendrix Art? And maybe that was his catalog number for his piece. Now, Whitesides was not a concert poster artist. He was an artist, period, in general, coming into his own. And so, you know, they commissioned him to do this, but I'm just wondering, with a credit like that, a crazy, insane credit, I think that screams of pro bono work. And so I'm just thinking it makes sense. You know, Whitesides simply didn't do that many concert posters. As I said, he's mostly a regular artist. I think it's kimwhitesides.com. He's got a good website. And so I just think he might, you know, Hendrix tickets are a donation and it's to benefit Summerthing. So I imagine he donated this art and he said, but I'm going to give myself a great credit and contact information up at the top. I think that's probably a pretty darn good guess. So that's what you have above Jimmy's colorful hair, and then down below the colorful hair, you know, you can see there's the date and the time and the ticket price, standard stuff. And then the Boston Common, which of course is the big park in central downtown Boston. By the way, it's the oldest city park in the United States of America. And then the bottom line, so I won't give you all the words down there, but understandably they say where to get the tickets, including all agencies and all little city halls. That's rather unusual. So, you know, it is sort of a shame that Jimmy canceled this. I mean, for everybody who had tickets, it certainly was well advertised ahead of time. That's absolutely for certain. In fact, take a look at this. They made a smaller handbill, but for some reason did not use this cool artwork. The 8.5 by 11-inch handbill was much more of a standard advertising piece for concerts. And as you can see, it's mostly red there with a nice smiling picture of Jimmy. And interestingly, 3 weeks before Jimmy was to appear, even another act's handbill, the Chambers Brothers, had this 8.5 by 11-inch or 10-inch handbill. And along the very bottom, you can get in there and see that, it does say, coming September 18th, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. So this show was certainly planned and advertised and talked about a lot, but it just didn't happen. It simply was not to be. And as a matter of fact, with Woodstock 1 month behind him, Jimmy's next concert wouldn't be for 3 more months. Not until New Year's Eve, December 31st of 1969, to end the decade, and that would be with the Band of Gypsies at Bill Graham's Fillmore East, which was recorded and turned into the 4th official album that came out while Jimmy was still alive, his 4th and final album while he was still alive. But this was the summer of '69 with a wild, cool, crazy psychedelic concert poster for the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and a dandy it is. Hope you enjoyed seeing it. Thanks a lot for coming by. We'll see you next time for something soon. Bye-bye.